They enslaved us because they feared us. They colonized us because they feared us. They now have a new project, the neo-colonial project. And I'm told that the neo-colonial project is a twin of another child called colonization. Their mother is imperialism. And imperialism never changes its character. It only changes the masks that it wears. We must be wary of it. It is sad. When they came here and abused Christianity, they told us to close our eyes in prayer. And when we opened our eyes, the land had disappeared. That is who they are. They are not our friends. And you know, Africa has been abused. When you look at the maps that are drawn by European cartographers, Africa is smaller than the United States of America, and yet it is larger, almost as large as Asia. They minimize us at all times. And they started. In January 1961, they assassinated Patrice Emery Lumumba, and Congo has never been the same again. In 1963, they assassinated Sylvanus Olympio in Togo, and Togo has never been the same again. Then there were coup d'etats. Kwame Nkrumah himself, in 1966, eliminated via coup d'etat. All his writings, all his speeches banned, never to be read, never to be listened to until 1972, when Ignatius Kutu Acheampong rehabilitated him. Ahmed Ben Bella in Algeria, gone. In Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, gone. In Mali, Modibo Keita, gone. In Chad, everywhere, coup d'etats. Here in Ethiopia, 1974, if I'm not wrong, coup d'etat and the emergence of the Derg regime. In East Africa, Uganda, coup d'etat, mutinies in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania in 1971. All orchestrated because we were disunited and we were weak. The predictions of our forefathers and founding mothers that disunited we would remain weak came true. I've traveled across this continent and I've seen that development is possible. I was in Rwanda before 1994. I was in Rwanda in 1996. Genocide. 1 million dead. Its obituary written will never rise, they said. You go to Rwanda now. They are demonstrating that it can be done. Go to Kigali now. See what they are doing in the health sector in their own small way. See how they are collaborating in the area of mobile telephony in their own small way. It can be done. I've been to Botswana. I've been to Mauritius. See what they are doing in their own small way. And they do not have the resources that other countries have. They do not have the resources that the Democratic Republic of Congo has. And I'm giving these examples to say that indeed it can be done, and it can be done within the continent of Africa. The reality is the poverty of Africa is the glory of some civilizations. Poverty is an industry. Ignorance is an industry, big industry. And there are those who want Africa to continue to wallow in poverty and to wallow in ignorance because it is their safest bet to their continued benefit. The day we wake up to that reality, the safer we are. The belief by many people in Africa that if we separated from our current countries, we would be better. It is beginning to happen. It is happening here in Nigeria. It is happening. I saw a letter last week addressed to the president of Zambia by a people in Zambia called Baroseland. And they are telling President Hakainde Hichilema that you remember in 1964 we had an agreement with the Lusaka government that the time has now come for Baroseland to become an independent country. Can you believe it? I hear people in Namibia saying, do you remember that there was a strip called the Caprivi Strip? I hear people in Ghana saying that you remember that in the Volta region we had a different country. I hear people in Zimbabwe saying that there should be a country called Mtuakazi. I hear people in South Africa, the South Africans, say that we should have a separate country in the Western Cape. I hear people in Ethiopia saying we should have Tigray and Oromo. The centrifugal forces are there. And the only way to bring them in is to create a sense of belongingness. The people must feel that they are part of it. I have no problem with prayer. We must pray because God is omniscient and omnipresent. But this misguided belief by Africans that everything can be prayed into being is misguided. The things that require technology will be earned by technology, not by theology. And the sooner we realize that, the safer we are. The last time I checked, even when Christ was asking or healing people, he told them to do something about it. I went to Zanzibar, and a young man was taking me through the dungeons, and he showed me there was the school where they taught Africans that they may use them in their labor. There is the church that they touch their spirit, that they may be spiritually confused. And there is the hostel where they treated them that they may use them as labor. I'd never heard such interpretation. We must begin to act as one unit. Recently in Mozambique, Mother Nature devastated the city of Beira. 90% of it was destroyed. The city of Beira, 90% gone. I waited for Africans to say that we are going to donate 1% of our budget. It is only Namibia and South Africa, and to a certain extent Kenya and a few other countries that went there. But the following week there was a church in Notre Dame in Paris that burned, and within 1 week they had raised 1 billion. In fact, more, I think, approaching 1 trillion, including a donation from a traditional chief in Côte d'Ivoire, who was very devastated that one of his brothers or somebody related to him had been baptized at the church in Notre Dame. If you now go to Beira, it is not African engineers who are involved in restoring, or African professionals. You will discover that some Portuguese firm, possibly, and some Chinese firm are the ones who are involved. And you asked me to talk about Thomas Sankara, perhaps the younger generation. He was here in Burkina Faso in 1983. He was a military man, just as you are. He participated in a process that eliminated a neo-colonial regime. The country was then known as Upper Volta. He said, why are we called Upper Volta? He changed the name into Burkina Faso, the land of the upright man. And he said that the people of Burkina Faso would be called the Burkinabe, the upright man. He came at a time when Burkina Faso could not feed ourselves. And he said that we can feed ourselves. He said that we can produce enough food to export. He said that we shall no longer be controlled from Paris, France. They took him out in 1987. Today in Africa, here in Nairobi, Kenya, If you want to buy something from a supermarket, you go to Carrefour, which is French. You want to buy fuel, you go to Total Energies or Rubies, which is French. You want to have your pizza, which is made by Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is American, you have it carried by Glovo, which is Spanish. If you want to have security, you have it by G4S, which is British. If you want your home guarded, it's guarded by KK, which is Gardewald from Quebec. If you want to have chicken, it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you want your airports managed, it's Swissport from Switzerland. That is the state of Africa. Consuming what we do not produce and producing what we do not consume. His Excellency will remember when he and his colleagues met in Nairobi on the 27th and 29th days of August, the year 2004. And Your Excellency, you will remember then, you issued a communique on the 28th day of August. And you'll remember then, Your Excellency, that many statements were made. You will remember your colleague, the President of Kenya, then the late Mwai Kibaki, saying that indeed East African community is significant because we cannot continue to divide a people who are culturally joined at the hip. You will remember your colleague, the late Benjamin William Mkapa, saying we cannot afford the luxury of disunity because a united East Africa will create a common market which will ensure that our people realize their goals and desire. Your Excellency, you are the more dramatic of the three on that day. You said, and permit me to remember what you said, that we cannot allow East Africa to continue to be balkanized. Nor can we allow Africa to continue to be balkanized in 53 countries which are weak and which are incapable of negotiating with other parts of the world. We must stop that balkanization. You said that, Your Excellency. Today, Your Excellency, in your very presence, we are interrogating the question as to whether we are still balkanized. When an African team reaches the quarterfinals of the World Cup, we say, oh great, for the first time an African team has reached the quarterfinal. You would think that the African teams were human beings playing with angels.
Once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Larry, and I have to take this opportunity to welcome all my new subscribers, my new viewers into my channel. And I have to admit that this has been some of the greatest speeches, some of the most encouraging speech from PLO Lumumba. And we have to agree that PLO Lumumba has been majorly emphasizing on African unity in his speeches. He is calling upon all the African leaders to unite, and also all the black nations. We want Africa to be one. We want Africa to be united. And we know they colonized us because they don't want Africa to be united. And that's why, for example, you hear they pay one of us to kill one of us so that they can claim it's one of us. This goes to all the greedy leaders we have here in Africa and all the black nations. They choose to bow. They've become puppets to these Western leaders, to these Western countries, whereby you find that these Western leaders, they are using our own leaders, our own people to hurt us. Our people have also turned out to be cowards. They choose to serve these Western people instead of serving their people right. And this is a very bold, like it takes a lot for one to be this brave and courageous as PLO Lumumba. We've seen that he has called out some of the corrupt leaders in Africa, some of the crude leaders in Africa. So if only these leaders we are having, they followed the trend of Ibrahim Traore. Look at how free Burkina Faso is. But most of our leaders, they've become like cowards, total cowards. They let the Western leaders dictate to them how they should lead us. These Western leaders, they don't know us as much as our leaders do. And that's why, like I said, they are using our leaders to oppress us, to hurt us, to steal from us. And our leaders, the one we put into power, they've turned their backs on their country, leave alone the citizens of our country. They've turned their backs on their own country. Then also they've turned their backs on the citizens of their country. The citizens, the same citizens who put them in charge, the same citizen who gave them those powers. We are being tricked to think that these are good people, that they will have, or rather they have the best intentions for the country and the citizens of those country. But in real case, they only care about their pockets. They only care about their position in power. They only care about their financial status and not anything good with the country or for the citizens of this country. So I'd really love to call upon black unity. Not just black unity. It would be my wish that Africa unites. It will be my greatest happiness to one day see that all the African countries, all the black nations, they have united and become one, because Africa is one rich continent. One rich continent. Africa has countries that are producing the best and the largest amount of resources, these minerals. Look at Congo. Largest country, a country that the largest with a lot of minerals, a lot of produces comes from Congo. But now, currently, we know it's full of chaos. Full of chaos in Congo. We have other countries that are good producers of a lot of minerals. But look how they have been infiltrated with chaos everywhere. Africa needs to unite. Africa needs to come together. And we all know most of these Western leaders, they are using divide and rule. They don't want us to unite at all. They don't want Africa to unite. They know when we are separated, it will be easy to control us. It will be easy for them to steal from us. It will be easy for them to grab everything they want from us. It will be easy for them to oppress us. But our own leaders have given them these powers to do so. So at this point, nobody can protect us. The leaders we thought they will protect us, they are not protecting us. So it's high time that Africa really needs to unite. For instance, tell me where you've heard of a country go on strike because their leader chose, or rather had decided to step down. Now this is the case of Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore, the current president, said that he will step down, and the citizens of that country had to take it to streets to protest. that no, you are not supposed to step down. We want your leadership to continue. I mean, can't our leaders want to be like Ibrahim Traore, or rather follow the lead of Ibrahim Traore, whereby you are totally loved by your own people? If only they did follow this lead of Ibrahim Traore. But anyway, they chose the greedy route, and they don't care about the citizens of their own country and also their country. So guys, thank you for sticking around. I'm your host Larry, and much love to my returning subscribers, my viewers. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly consider subscribing. I'm your host Larry, and until we meet again, peace out.